गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। आज हम लोग लेक्चरेट की एक प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, ठीक है। सिलेक्शन बोर्ड में यू विल बी गेटिंग 3 minutes टू डिलीवर योर लेक्चरेट स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम राइट ऑफ योर ग्रुप। वन बाय वन you will be collecting a card from me. I will be sitting behind your group. जो कार्ड आप कलेक्ट करेंगे उस पर 4 टॉपिक लिखे होंगे, ठीक है, अकॉर्डिंग टू द लेवल ऑफ टफनेस। द फर्स्ट वन will be a burning issue, whereas the last one will be a self-awareness topic. You can select any topic out of 4. My suggestion is try to speak on a good topic. Selection of topic matters a lot in lecturate, especially in selection board. ठीक है, तो सेल्फ अवेयरनेस टॉपिक पर ज़्यादा बोलने की कोशिश ना करें। इट शोज योर जनरल अवेयरनेस लेवल। क्लियर? You need to deliver it for 3 minutes. What all things your GTO will be looking for in selection board? Your body language, how you stand, what is your eye contact. So you need not to address me, you need not to see towards me, you have to deliver your lecturate to your group members. Clear? How do you start your lecturate? If possible, try to give a better start or a different start to your lecturate by adding a quotation or a famous saying which gives a different start to your lecturate. Then what is your fluency level? ठीक है, बिना अटके अच्छे लय में अपनी बात को रखना है। लेक्चरेट का पर्पस जो होता है ये आपकी नॉलेज मेजर नहीं है। नॉलेज है आपके पास तभी आप सिलेक्शन बोर्ड में हो। नॉलेज के अलावा जो प्राइम चीज देखी जाती है दैट इज योर पब्लिक स्पीकिंग एबिलिटी। हाउ डू यू कन्विंस पीपल सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू? कितनी सहजता से अपनी बात को आप, आसानी से अपनी बात को आप समझा सकते हैं उनको, ठीक है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम फ्लुएंसी, योर प्रोनाउंसिएशन, कंटेंट ऑफ योर लेक्चरेट. So you need to add good facts and figures, updated facts and figures to your lecturate. What is more important? The major part of lecturate is what it is. Whatever the topic you are selecting, क्या है वो टॉपिक, पहले तो ये बताइए, a brief introduction of the topic given to you. Second is why do you know this topic? क्यों आप जानते हैं या क्यों ये टॉपिक न्यूज में रहा है, ठीक है। एंड थर्ड इज हाउ टू अचीव इट और हाउ टू रिस्ट्रिक्ट इट। कोई ऐसी चीज जो आप नहीं चाहते हैं कि, जैसे ग्लोबल वार्मिंग है, टेररिज्म है, आप चाहते हैं कि ये रोका जाए, तो इसको कैसे रोकेंगे। या फिर कोई अच्छी चीज है, न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है या एम्प्लॉयमेंट स्कोप है, लिटरेसी अपलिफ्टमेंट है, इकोनॉमी ग्रोथ है, ये हम चाहते हैं कि हाँ ये हो, तो अगर ये चीज होगी तो कैसे होगी, तो हाउ इट विल बी पॉसिबल। दीज आर 3 इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स यू हैव टू ऐड इन योर लेक्चरेट। क्लियर? When you will be collecting your card, you may go to the third pillar to prepare for 2.5 minutes. जो पहला कैंडिडेट होगा वो 2.5 मिनट के बाद I will give you a warning by saying next. So when I'll say next, आप वापस आकर के अपना कार्ड जमा करेंगे. You will come in front of your group. You'll start delivering your lecturate. जब चेस्ट नंबर 13 अपना लेक्चरेट स्टार्ट करेंगे तो चेस्ट नंबर 14 पीछे से कार्ड उठा करके तैयारी करने चले जाएंगे। आफ्टर 2.5 minutes आई विल से नेक्स्ट। आपके लिए वार्निंग है कि आप आकर के कार्ड अपना जमा करें, ठीक है, और आपके लिए वार्निंग होगी कि यू आर लेफ्ट विथ 30 seconds ऑफ टाइम, सो यू कैन स्टार्ट कंक्लूडिंग योर लेक्चरेट। क्लियर? आफ्टर 30 seconds आई विल से स्टॉप. So when I'll say stop, you will go back to your place. Chest number 14 will come in front of your group. He'll start delivering lecturate. Chest number 18, you will collect your card and will go to prepare your lecturate. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
तैयार हैं सभी लोग?
Yes, sir.
Yes, chest number 13. Next. Which topic you are going to speak?
So gentlemen, few months back, in the social media and media, one news was circulating at a very fast pace, which was some such person has killed Naga civilians. But one thing which was circulating in very fast pace was also the word AFSPA, which stands for AFSPA, which is Armed Forces Special Power Act, and that is my topic, gentlemen. Let us talk about AFSPA. In 1942, when the Quit India movement was at its highest, can I remove my mask? Yes. Was at its highest, and World War II was also going, and Britishers were in alliance power, and Japanese were in Axis power. So British Indian army personnel went to Singapore for fighting Japanese, but then Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose convinced them to join Azad Hind Fauj, and Britishers were afraid of this. So they, the Viceroy of India declared declared emergency in Nagaland, and special powers were given to the army personnel for killing, arresting and destroying property under mere suspicion. And after the independence in 1942, the insurgency in Nagaland started to increase, and in 1948, after a debate, our Home Minister G.V. Pant passed the AFSPA for stopping the insurgency in Nagaland by saying it will just influence the local Nagas from misinformation and misguidance. And after that, in many states, AFSPA was implemented. It was implemented in Assam, Punjab, J&K and Tripura. In the section 3 of AFSPA, the state government just have to sign to the governor that the state is a disturbed area, and the governor will take that to the Home Ministry, and after the state is declared disturbed, then the special powers are given to the army personnel, which they can use to kill, destroy property and arrest someone under mere suspicion. Next. The word suspicion is a wide spectrum, as it can be also for revenge and other purposes also. So I would like to conclude that the army needs special powers in many areas, but under suspicion it don't require proof in AFSPA. But according to me, it should be requiring some proof. Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen. As we know that in ancient time, people used to face a lot of the difficulties in selling and buying the products. Sellers come from the different countries and the different places at the particular place to exhibit their products. And the consumer also come from the different part of the countries to buy the product. They use the different modes to buy and sell their products. Just like the barter system, and some of them are using the bronze coins, gold coins and the silver coins. As the time passes, and we know that आवश्यकता ही आविष्कार की जननी है. So my lecture topic is the e-commerce, that is the electronic commerce, which means that the dealers are going to sell the goods and the services to the buyers at the nominal and the cheap price by the help of the online medium, in which the dealers are selling their products at the nominal cost. Dealers are selling their product at the nominal cost that cut the chain here in between the dealer and the buyers, that provide the greater marginal rate for the consumers and the sellers too. It provides the greater opportunity for the buyers. They are having the different opportunities for buying the products. They are not restricted for the particular products. When they visit to the nearby store, the fixed amount of the products are available at the nearby store. So it gives the greater opportunity for the buyers to get the product, and it cut the chain that provide the greater marginal rate for both of them. As we know that there is internet boom in India, that's internet boom in India of the 4G that enhanced the e-commerce in India, that has promoted and provided the greater extent of the expansion for this type of the activity, in which the people used to do the online mode of the payment for this transaction. Some people are getting afraid of the online transaction, but this can be operated and get reduced by the help of providing the greater organization over this that will took care and took the control over this. This type of the thing fraudulent that is happening online can be reduced by this. And government of India introduced a many schemes just like the
Next.
scheme in the 2018 and 19 budget, in which the government of India has provided the 8,000 crore of rupees for expanding the broadbands all over the India in the villages of approximately 1,50,000 villages. So I would like to say that the e-commerce is going to boost our nation and providing the greater
Stop.
A very good morning to all of my friends. Today the topic for my lecture is United Nations Security Council. So United Nations was established in 1945 after the Second World War to prevent any Third World War. It consists of mainly 6 bodies. United Nations Security Council is one of its. It is the main working body of the United Nations. Generally, rules are being made by the General Assembly and its execution is done by the Security Council. Now talking about the Security Council, it consists of 15 countries. 10 are non-permanent members and 5 are permanent members. The 5 permanent members are also known as P5 countries. These are Russia, China, USA, UK and France. And 10 non-permanent members are selected on the regional basis by the United Nations General Assembly for a term of 2 years. The main work of United Nations Security Council is to maintain peace and security among the nations. And recently you all have heard about the Ukraine and Russia crisis, in which a resolution has been to be discussed in United Nations Security Council. But due to the veto power of China, it couldn't be discussed. So what is this veto power? The veto power is a special power given to the permanent members so that it can stop any resolution or let not pass any resolution which is being discussed in the United Nations Security Council. Now talking about the India's stand or India's position in the United Nations Security Council, India has been selected for a current term of 2 years, 2021 and 2022 for the United Nations Security Council. India also got the presidency of United Nations Security Council meetings in the month of August 2021 and it has discussed various burning issues such as maritime security. So the maritime security was the issue which has been discussed first ever in the history of United Nations, as it is mainly due to the aggression of China in South China Sea and Indo-Pacific region. So India discussed upon it. And also the second main issue which was being discussed was the terrorism. And because of at that time Taliban issue was burning and India discussed and concluded upon point that no one country will provide authority to the Taliban and the Talibani land should not be used for any other or harmful activities in the world. But later on some countries provided the authority. And also, I would like to tell about the veto power. The veto power also led to the inefficiency of the United Nations because if any country sees its gain in any of the matters, so it uses its veto power to stop that resolution due to which the United
Next.
Nations is political and largest economy in the world, so it also needs the permanent seats. So it should maintain a good relationship with all the countries so that it can get. And the main reason behind India is not getting seat is China. So India should mainly focus on relations with China so that it can get seat and can help United Nations in a better way. Thank you.
So hello gentlemen, this is very nicely said by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So my topic is role of women in developing society. So gentlemen, women are the second half of the human mankind. They conquer the 50% of the population, and the problem the women are facing currently due to lack of education is the problems are currently they are facing from the ancient times, such as sati practices, polygamy, and currently like molestation and rape and many things they are facing in society. So the basic solution for these of the problems are the education. Education is the basic grassroots solution for every problem. Currently, according to the 2001 census, the literacy rate difference between man and woman is 21%. That is the difference between them is 21%. So the education is the basic root we should look upon. So sir, many many new policies which are being introduced by the government, like Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao. That is the greatest initiative, because when the women are educated, the manpower, the capital force is increased in every department. Like currently, most of the women are in agriculture sector where they are working. But when the women are educated, the women are diversified in all the fields, such as Air Force, corporate sector. Currently, we had our first Air Force pilot, female pilot. We have our through education only, we have our first Prime Minister as woman, female first President as woman, and many other. So according to me, female has played a very important role in developing our society, whether it being any of the sectors. Females, the main reason for them, like 45% of the female left their job due to family pressure and their work in the home. But after education, they get to know about their rights and their fundamental duties, what are the opportunities they have. So when they are educated, not they only they get educated, but their family and the upcoming generation also develop, and their knowledge is also
Next.
improved. So I would like to conclude that when we as a society look forward to our female, our society will automatically improve and reach to its fullest. Thank you.
One topic that has never left the mainstream media and the bounds of the courts is reservation. Now the moment, so this is the topic for my lecture, reservation. Now the moment we hear the word reservation, the people that hear the word reservation, they are often divided into two groups. One, who support the reservation, and the second group is who oppose the reservation. They are obviously who are not getting the benefit of the reservation. But I want to ask you one question. Is that the question that we really need to answer? Do we need the reservation or do we not need the reservation? In a country like India, where we make our friends, where we go to dinner parties and are interested in the second names of the person who particularly emphasize on the caste that they belong to, do we really need to answer that question? No. On the face of it, we do need reservation in India. But the actual question that needs to be asked is, to what extent? And is it really solving the problem? So before I move further into the discussion, I would like to first give a brief history of the reservation in India. So reservation was brought about by massive efforts made by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was the drafter of our constitution. So initially reservation was brought about in India for only 10 years. 10 years from 1950. And we are in the 73rd year of our independence, and still we haven't achieved the objective that for which the reservation was brought about. Had B.R. Ambedkar been here, he would have abolished the reservation, the concept of reservation of constitution, because that is not solving the problem. But anyhow, that is not the question. The question is whether it is to what extent. Now, in any number of cases, like we have 50 plus cases of reservation in India. Starting from M.R. Balaji, where 50% cap was brought about, Indra Swani, where 27% reservation to OBC was provided, with the creamy layer conception was included in the Indra Swani judgment also. But is it followed? No. In most of the universities, in most of the public services, the 50% cap is often broken, and with the latest amendment of the 10% reservation given to the economic the lower economic strata of the country, the 50% criteria that was brought about in M.R. Balaji and reiterated in the Indra Swani judgment has been broken time and again. Now the question is, even if we have provided reservation to the people who are needy, who are socially and educationally backward, is it really solving the problem? I don't think so. Major benefits of the reservation has been reaped out by the people who are already in position where they can benefit themselves, where they can represent themselves. So what needs to be done is spread awareness, educate people about reservation, and that will actually solve the problem of inequality in India.
कई लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा इम्प्रेस किया, अच्छा लेक्चरेट दिया है. चेस्ट नंबर 18, 21, 25, 27, 43, 58. यू आर एक्सट्रीमली गुड. थोड़ा सुधार की ज़रूरत है. यहाँ से आप लोगों को मेहनत करनी है. अभी देखो, ठीक है. 13 आई वॉज एक्सपेक्टिंग गुड फ्रॉम यू. थोड़ा स्ट्रेस में दिख रहे थे. 14 आपको बहुत मेहनत करनी है. 88 आपने भी बहुत अच्छा बोला. ठीक है. 72 कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे आपका, ठीक। मगर जो मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा इम्प्रेस किया है दैट वाज चेस्ट नंबर 27, बहुत अच्छा। ये है आपका, जब यहाँ रहते हैं आप जिस तरीके से मेहनत करते हैं ये फ़र्क दिखता है, ठीक है। और ये मुझे नहीं दिखा है, आप सबको भी दिख रहा होगा। कितनी क्लैरिटी थी उसकी बात में, एक एक प्रोनाउंसिएशन साफ, ऐसा लग रहा था वो दूसरों के लिए बोल रहा है, ठीक। 25 आप बहुत कंफर्टेबल होकर के बोल रहे थे। ये एक गलतफहमी है लोगों के मन में कि आप पीछे हाथ करके खड़े रहिए और ऐसे बोलते जाइए। नहीं, अगर आपको लगता है हैंड मूवमेंट करना है आपको, आप कर सकते हैं। बस किन चीज़ों का ध्यान रखना है, हाथ आगे नहीं फेंकना है, पॉइंट आउट नहीं करना है, चेस्ट लेवल के ऊपर हैंड मूवमेंट मत करें, वेस्ट के नीचे हैंड मूवमेंट ना करें, ठीक है। बीच में अगर आप फोल्डेड हैंड से थोड़ा बहुत मूवमेंट करें, ज़्यादा नहीं करना है, एक दो जगह, जैसा 25 ने एक दो जगह किया था तो वो कंफर्टेबल है, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, ठीक है। 58 इतना अच्छा बोल रहे थे आप थे या 88, बट हो क्या रहा था ना, आप शिफ्ट करते हो अपनी बॉडी को, शिफ्ट नहीं करना है। जब आप खड़े होते हो तो ये इसके नीचे का जो पोर्शन है, ठीक है, आपके जो पैर है ये स्टेप रखा करो। आपको मूवमेंट जो करना है ये इसके ऊपर आप मूवमेंट करिए, ठीक है। तो इससे आपको जो एक तरीका है खड़े होने का वो अच्छा लगता है, ठीक। बट आई वॉज हैप्पी विद योर परफॉर्मेंस। 18, 21 दोनों कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट हो पिछली बार, ठीक है। आप भी कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट हैं पिछली बार, ठीक है। कंटेंट है, डिलीवर अच्छे से करिए। बोलते समय ये ध्यान रखो कि आप दूसरों के लिए, आप 8 लोगों के लिए बोल रहे हो, ठीक है, तो उनको आपकी बात सफाई से समझ में आ जाए। क्लियर? चलो, विश यू गुड लक।